It's time now for County-Wide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Brad Miller as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives here in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's County-Wide.
Welcome to County-Wide. I am Paul David. Good to have you in studio. Whether you're listening on the radio or watching us on TV today, it is good to have you along. Yavapai Silent Witness Director Steve Skurja in studio with us today. We're talking Silent Witness. Hi.
How are you?
Welcome to the new year.
Thank you. You too.
You like the new studio? Nice
I do.
setup, huh?
I do. I like that.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of all of Yavapai County here.
Yeah, a little touch of everybody's home.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right. Hope you guys like the new set too. We're talking Silent Witness.
We are.
How was 2012?
You know, it was probably right up there with all of them across the board. Mm-hmm. And we've been doing this now for 32 years here in Yavapai County. So when I say right across the board, you know, the early days, we were just kind of testing the water, and we didn't have a lot of arrests and stuff. But normally what we see now is what I'm about to tell you. Okay, we had 474 new people call Silent Witness for the first time.
Now, how do you know they're new people?
I keep track of that. Okay. Okay, and we assign them numbers, and that's their code name or their secret number, whatever you want to call it. And it's funny because when people call in to check on their cases to see if they have a reward coming or whatever, they all have a different term for it.
Oh, really?
But that's their number. Okay. And I assigned 474 new numbers last year.
Gotcha.
Okay. There were 1,559 people who called in for maybe updated information to find out if they had a reward coming, just follow-up. Okay, 1,559 people. So it brought a total to 2,033 calls to the Silent Witness hotline in 2004.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're happy. And we'd be happy if it was more, but we're not disappointed at all. Okay. There were 103 people arrested. And in order to get a reward through Yavapai Silent Witness, the arrest has to be a felony. So 103 people were arrested on 469 felony charges.
Wow.
Last year.
Okay.
And we paid $21,875 in cash rewards. Now that's down a little bit. The arrests are right up even with all the years in the past, but the reward numbers are down a little bit.
Why is that?
I don't know. You know, maybe less high-profile crimes.
Gotcha.
You know, like Catch-22s, $500 across the board. A case involving a firearm. If you robbed somebody and you were in possession of a firearm, or maybe you assaulted somebody and you had a firearm with you, that's an automatic $1,000 just because you used a gun in that process.
So if it's a weapon-related crime, felony,
a gun.
Okay,
related,
gun.
Okay,
then it becomes
it's $1,000.
Okay,
without even discussing it. Okay, okay, and we came up with that a couple years ago. When I say we, I mean the board. I have 20 civilians that sit on the board with me free of charge. They volunteer their time. They meet with me once a month, and we sit down and we go over all the cases that resulted in a felony arrest since the last meeting due to a Silent Witness call. And that's the criteria. When people call in and their information leads to an arrest, then we're going to offer them a cash reward. Okay, and let me take that a step further. Because a lot of people call and say, I know I have a reward coming because I called in on such and such yesterday and I know he was arrested. Well, that doesn't mean he was arrested on their information. It just means he was arrested. Maybe he was pulled over for a traffic violation and the officer ran a background and found out that he had a warrant.
Right.
Had nothing to do with the caller's information. So there's not going to be a reward in this case. Or maybe the same agency that's looking for him, and I sent the information to, arrested him last night, and they got my information today. It's not going to get it. He's not going to get a reward because of that.
Gotcha.
And sometimes it's you know, very borderline, and we're gonna give, you know, tie goes to the runner. idea. If it's really close, we're going to pay a reward because we want to be a good faith organization.
Sure.
We don't want people to look down at us and be disgruntled because they didn't get a reward. We have the money, and we want to reward these people, so we do it as much as possible. So it was a good year. And I'm very happy with it.
Good. Yeah. Well, we weren't going to talk about it till later, but let's go ahead and talk about the reward money.
Okay.
Because some people still think that that's our tax dollars.
They do.
Paying out these rewards.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this before, but let's go ahead and recap that it's not tax money.
The only thing that is remotely connected to tax dollars is my salary. I work at the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, and I get a...
You're paid as the director.
I am, okay. However, we do a lot of advertising. That money comes from a separate account, and that account is made up from fundraisers. Last year, the Ruger Company gave us a firearm that we raffled off. We made $8,500 on that raffle. That money went into our advertising account.
Gotcha.
We do a golf tournament every September. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last year was the 28th annual. All the money that we made on that, which was about probably $4,500, went into our advertising account. Now, what do we do with that money? Well, one of the things we did this year is we had a great big sign made, probably about 10 by 10, 15 by 15, a really big sign that's inside Tim's Toyota Center, in a really good spot where people coming in and out are going to see that sign, and it's just a reminder that the program exists and that we pay cash rewards.
Gotcha.
Okay. We've also partnered up with the Coffeegram. That's the table mat that goes to the restaurants. It's a paper table mat. People can buy personal ads and put on there, or corporation stuff. Well, we bought an ad that goes on there, and these table mats go across the county to restaurants, and we're hoping that'll generate some new stuff. And then we get more pamphlets made. Our posters that we use all the time, like this poster is about the Marcel Gonzalez homicide. This comes out of our advertising funds. Okay, the reward money comes from basically the bad guys.
Okay. Explain that to me. How do they get the money from the bad guys?
We have an account in Yavapai County, just like they do in Maricopa County and in Colorado and everywhere else. Whenever, whenever the police go out and arrest somebody, usually dealing with drugs, okay? Let's say, for instance, they stop a car that's going northbound on I-17, and the individual's going too fast. They pull him over for speed, and through the investigation, they find out he's got a load of dope. He's got a bunch of cash on board. Yeah. And it's funny because these things are usually generated by a traffic offense. Now here they got a load of dope, and they got $200,000 in the car, and they're going 90 miles an hour northbound on I-17.
Broken headlights, and it's middle of the night.
They wonder why they got stopped.
Yeah, I know. It's always amazing to me that they've got all this illegal contraband, yet they're breaking the law while they're doing it. Yeah.
So we find out that this new Mercedes he's driving is paid for. It's seized because it's part of the crime. The cash is seized, part of the crime. Maybe we find out that there's assets or something else related to that. All of that is seized. Now it's going to go through a court process, and if it's awarded to the state or to Yavapai County, the car's going to be sold. That money's going to go into a special account. That cash that was in the car is going to go into that special account. Those assets are sold. Maybe it's real estate or something like that. They're sold, they go into that special account. It's called RICO.
RICO.
Okay? Every year, at the end of the fiscal year, in July, I'll go to the PANT board. The PANT board, and PANT, Partners Against Narcotic Trafficking, across the county. The board is made up of the chief of police from every agency, including the marshal of Yavapai, Camp Verde, and also the Yavapai County Sheriff, Scott Masher. They all sit on this board and govern, and Sheila Polk, our county attorney, govern PANT, okay? And I'll go to them and say, okay, these are the cases that we're made due to a call to Yavapai Silent Witness that resulted in an arrest that pertained to drugs. And this is the amount I paid these people. They'll reimburse me for that amount of money.
Nice.
It just fills our coffers back up, gets us ready for the next year.
Excellent.
That's where the money comes from.
Works out great. We got to take a break.
Okay.
Yavapai Silent Witness Director Steve Skurja in studio today. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide. We will be back in just a couple minutes.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm Paul David. Good to have you along. Yavapai Silent Witness Director Steve Skurja in studio today. If you've got a tip about a felon out there, the number is 1-800-932-3232, 1-800-932-3232, and then the website, which is something we want to talk about next here, Steve, yavapaisw.com, yavapaisw.com. Tell me about the website. A lot of information on there.
There is, and it's fairly new. We just redid the whole thing and made a lot of changes. We made it user-friendly, number one, which I really like, and I've got a lot of good comments about the user-friendliness of it. But you can go on there and pull up anything about crime in Yavapai County. If there's something that just happened, there's been a bank robbery in Cottonwood. If the Cottonwood PD works with me and calls me and says, can you help me out, we'll immediately put information on our website. Mm-hmm. So our listeners, our followers can go on there and maybe see a picture of the bank robber. You know, and it's just like your website. You guys do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to be able to go to a newspaper and pull it up right now because it's not going to be there till tomorrow morning or tomorrow night or something like that. You can go on the website and get that information right now. A lot of information about cold cases. There's a number of unsolved homicides in Yavapai County.
While you talk about this, let me hold up one of the posters while you're talking that, and Ryan can zoom in on this, and then you tell me about these cold cases that are on there.
We were talking about this earlier. You know, Yavapai County is a dumping ground for homicide victims out of the Phoenix area. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. There's been a homicide. They want to get rid of the body. They jump on I-17. They head north. They get to the Bumblebee turnoff. They drive out in the desert a little ways, drop the body off. Nobody knows about it till the following year when a hunter stumbles across it or a hiker, and now you've got a cold case homicide. Probably happened in the Phoenix area, dumped in Yavapai County. The investigators don't have hardly anything to go by. Normally the identification is missing. is just a really, really tough place to start.
We've had some pretty gruesome cases where we still don't even know who the victim was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we have a website, or on our website, there's a page that is just for all of those victims, and there's a little story that goes along with each of those cold cases. So people can go on there and read about them. You know, maybe they're going to recognize something, maybe they remembered something, but they can go on there and find out a lot of information. The other site, or the other page on there, is about recent apprehensions. Now, this isn't somebody that was just picked up yesterday randomly. These are people who were advertised on the Silent Witness website that have been apprehended. So we go on there and we just let the reader know that we've arrested them and the reward is no longer available. Okay? You can go on there and find out everything you ever want to know about Catch-22, how we got the program started, why it started, and look at the recent Catch-22s. All of their photos and their bios are on there. When we run the Catch-22 program, and for those people who are maybe new to our area, first of all, Silent Witness is a program that involves folks calling in, remaining anonymous, and being eligible for a cash reward if the information leads to a felony arrest.
Correct.
Okay. If you came from out of the state of Arizona to Yavapai County, you probably had the same kind of program, but it was called Crime Stoppers. Same thing, just a different name.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Okay. So, Yavapai Silent Witness came up with a program about 15 years ago that we called Catch-22.
Catch-22.
We take what we think are the 22 most serious, dangerous felons who have felony warrants, active felony warrants, and we put their picture in the paper, we advertise it on the radio, we advertise it on television, and we do this twice a year. We do it in the spring, we also do it in the winter. And we call it Catch-22. The whole idea is to catch these bad guys, these bad 22 people. Okay, where do we get them? Each police agency in Yavapai County has the opportunity to send me who they feel is their most wanted, from the Prescott Police Department, from the Cottonwood Police Department, Sedona, etc. And then once I get them, then I'll pick out the worst of the worst, and we come up with a list of 22, and we run those. We're going to throw a little twist in this year, though.
I was going to say, because the last couple of years now, we've had quite a few of the same names. We're still looking for some of these bad guys. There's the triple homicide down in Wickenburg. We've been looking for a couple of guys there. That particular poster I was holding up is Marisol Gonzalez. It didn't show up on Catch-22.
But that's because we don't have a suspect.
Correct.
Yeah.
But and then I think we had Kathy Sposito on Catch-22 though as well. Kathy Sposito.
Several years ago, Kathy was on there. Again, we don't have a suspect in her homicide.
But those are a couple of cold cases that that we need help with as well.
But the Catch-22, our agencies will send me what they feel is their most violent, their most serious offenders.
The worst of the worst.
We'll pick the top 22 out of them, and then we take one each day for 22 consecutive days and feature that felon. And all the media hits on that individual. The key to this, though, is if you call us, give us information that leads to their arrest, it's an automatic $500 reward. We don't have to go to the board and decide on how much we're going to pay or wait till the next meeting date or whatever. If we arrest, and it happened in Sedona about 3 years ago, there was a child molester wanted and advertised on Catch-22. We know that he was we knew that he was an absconder. Hadn't been around for a long time. But we kept running his picture, we kept running the ad, and one morning I get a call, and I answer it, personally take the call, and the guy says, I know where today's Catch-22 is. And I said, where? And he said, he's working on a golf course in Sedona, and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, how do you know? He said, I know. And I said, is he there right now? And he said, yeah, I'm looking at him.
Oh.
That individual agreed to remain on the scene. When the deputy got there, he just pointed him out. He was driving a mower on a golf course. Deputy went over, confirmed the identity, arrested the man, and I paid that caller $500 about 30 minutes later.
Nice.
So that's how slick this program works, okay? We've been doing this for about 15 years. And we're right at about phase 29, 30 or something like that,
I've lost
I believe.
track, but yeah, it's a long time now.
We've arrested about 65 felons. Now, some people might say, in 15 years, only 65? But these, again, are high-profile felons. These are people,
bad people
that would have never been picked up, probably, because they've left the country. But somebody calls and says, you know what, I remember this guy, and I think I just saw him the other day, haven't seen him for several years. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to throw a little twist into it.
Let's come back. We got to come back from a break.
Okay.
We'll talk about the twist. We'll have a couple minutes left, okay? Yavapai Silent Witness Director Steve Skurja in studio today. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Hello, everybody. I am Lou Ann Patterson. My family and I would like to welcome you to the Copper Star Indoor Shooting Range, Northern Arizona's premier shooting sports facility. We offer a 25-yard pistol range, a 50-yard archery range, and Arizona's only 100-yard indoor rifle range. In addition, we have a full-line gun shop as well as an archery pro shop. Come check us out. We're located at Highway 260 and Cherry Road, right next to Out of Africa. Looking forward to seeing you all.
I got no balls to losing.
He's in beef.
Shocking. Drives it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We just buzzed. Just buzzed? You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shocking.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Fire can happen at any time. What would you try to save?
My family photos.
My grandfather's war memorabilia.
My dogs.
I'm firefighter Brandon Wacker with the Cotton Fire Department. A working smoke detector is your best defense in the event of a fire. Make sure you have a smoke detector in every room except your kitchen. Test them monthly and change the battery once a year. Take the time to save the things you can't replace.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got a couple minutes left of the program. We were just talking about Catch-22 with Yavapai Silent Witness Director Steve Skurja, and we're going to have a little twist this year, you said. So what is our twist?
The twist to Catch-22 is we're going to change the criteria a little bit.
Okay.
And I just got finished talking about the worst of the worst.
Right.
Well, we're not having a lot of luck catching the worst of the worst.
We talked yesterday a little bit, and a lot of those people have left or have gone far away. Anyways,
exactly.
we need to get some new blood in there.
They've gone, to the East Coast. They've left the country. They're in Canada. They're in Mexico, and we're not finding them. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower the criteria, if you will. They're still going to be felons,
right?
But they're not going to be as hardcore felons as maybe some of these others. Instead of murderers, rapists, child molesters, maybe they're going to be felons in the area of felony DUI warrants, burglaries, minor assaults and things like this, in the hopes that we'll catch more people. We have the money to pay rewards. We want to catch them. We want to get them off the street, so we're going to change it up a little bit. And I know the viewers, and there are people out there that love Catch-22. They love looking in the paper each day. They love looking, at our website, at your website, hearing who's wanted. And they're getting tired of the same old people. So we're going to change it up a little bit.
Sounds good. All right. We are about out of time. So we're at Yavapai Silent Witness. The phone number is 1-800-932-3232. Website is yavapaisw.com. Silent Witness Director Steve Skurja, good to see you in 2013.
Thank you very much for your help.
We'll talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right, that's today's Countywide. We will talk to you again next time.
This has been County-Wide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday as we tackle the hot topics and talk to the decision makers across Yavapai County. That's County-Wide with Brad Miller and Paul David each Tuesday and Thursday on this Yavapai Broadcasting station.